Welcome back. Let's get in the trenches with silver, gold, and oil. So I want to look, at silver stocks tanking here. We have Silver Wheaton down over 5%, Coeur d'Alene Mines down over 2%, and of course silver was the big story overnight, really tanking as much as 20%. What did you? Okay, so many things to talk about here. But first off, what would you do with silver right now with this huge pullback?
Right now, I'm short silver, and I'm staying short. Okay, I've talked about that exhaustion top in silver, the huge move we've seen recently, the huge move over the last year, and it's been a tough short, but I saw huge volume. I saw so much excitement out there, so I said, I'm going to try and stay short, and it hasn't been easy. I saw silver, what did it go to, 42.50 last night?
Yeah, but it did hold the 42, which
okay.
was pretty impressive, because you got to 40, that would be a whole game changer. But yeah, it went to about 42.20 on the COMEX.
Okay, and right now I think it's already bounced back to 45-ish.
46?
46.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to cover here. I'm going to see if I could see no bounce in silver, and I might add to my shorts today to get a retest of that 42, because that's still a nice percentage lower. And as far as you said, the silver miners being down even more, that makes sense, because we've been talking about the decoupling of the silver mining stocks versus silver, and that was another sign that silver was still going higher, but the stocks were selling off underneath, so they kind of knew that a sell-off was happening and that this move in silver might be short-term done.
And in terms of the silver miners, there were a lot of fundamental issues too, particularly with the silver guys, because there were worries that Bolivia would nationalize all the silver mines there. So Pan American Silver, PAAS, Coeur d'Alene Mines, CDE, all got really hit. So it sort of reminds you that the stocks might not always give you that leverage to the commodity because they act as stocks. They have the same kind of issues as any other miner would.
And we've talked about that so many times. And if you take a quick look at CDE, just to show you the chart and the rationale here, when silver was at its highs, look where it was last time. Silver was still at its highs on Thursday, Friday. Look where this was. This was right at support, showing you that there's a problem here. It was also getting back below the moving averages. So watch to see if this 30 holds. But it sold off before silver. So now if we take a look at silver, silver still at the highs when you saw a lot of mining stocks not. You saw, like I talked about, this capitulation type volume. Okay, I'd like to see, if we stay below 46, 40, like on SLWs, or SLV, I'm sorry, I think that we can get a move down to this 42 area again. So,
and if we hit 42 again, would you want to go long then? Get out of your shorts and go
I'd just say about 42.50, I'm going to get flat, and then I'm going to try and prepare myself to go long, because we're not sure if this move is a short-term top or how much time it's going to need, but I want to make sure it's a compelling price to get in there. So I'm going to take the meat and potatoes out of that short trade and then get prepared to maybe get long if the market says it's ready for it.
And I want to hit gold. It was down 2.5%, held the 1545 level. It's up again now. What do you want to do with this with gold?
Gold, I'm trying to stay tier 1 long all year. So I'm just staying tier 1. It's acting well.
All year. It's kind of a bold trade there.
I've wanted to sell it a few times during this move, and because of my thesis of 16, 17.50 for gold, I'm staying in it. I'm just going to wait for a better setup to get heavier. I'm the lightest I've been in gold all year, and I'm going to stay light until I see a consolidation up here and then another pattern to add to it for some higher prices.
And before we got on camera for the show, we were talking about what Osama bin Laden's death meant for gold and silver, and you were saying not much, but on my end, in terms of the fundamentals, if it does help the U.S. dollar index, if it does help the dollar tick up a little bit here, then we will see a continued sort of pressure on gold and silver.
And rightly so. They've had a great move. They deserve a rest. So if this does get some upside pressure to the dollar that we talked about last week, pressure on that. And we also have to quickly talk about oil.
Yeah.
Because psychologically, you see oil down like $2.50, and they just cut the head of the snake off of this major terrorist organization.
And if you can get bin Laden, why can't you get Gaddafi?
Exactly, and they got their son and unfortunately the grandchildren. I hate to hear that, but you know what? You're a dictator, and I can't even get to that end of it. So we'll see. Oil, has support, real big support around 108. So if it starts to get down there, that's when we'll look at oil.